that I wanted to talk about was Star Wars Celebration. So Star Wars Celebration is happening. I think it started on the 26th, which was Thursday. So we've been getting trickles of a couple of things happen. We're gonna talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Disney Plus series in a bit. But they've been showing some awesome stuff, announcing some really cool stuff. They finally spoke about John Watts' project. I forgot what it's called. They gave it a name, and
is that the one with Jude Law?
Yeah, with Jude Law.
The John Watts project is called Skeleton Crew with Jude Law.
Skeleton Crew, yeah.
Which I have no idea. I wouldn't even be able to guess what that is.
I mean, they described it. They described it as a show with young Jedis, young students. They compared it something to like.
And that's what I wanted to talk, because at the beginning of Obi-Wan, you see a group of kids, and I'm like, wait a minute, can that be the group of kids that this new show is going to be about? Because there were like 5 kids there, Jedi kids, and
it's true.
You know,
what do we do now? We run.
Yeah, and then the show, that Skeleton Crew, could be about them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would be really cool if we kind of got a glimpse at it, and now we're going to see that story that happens right after Order 66. So, I mean, and John Watts killed it with Spider-Man, and I think he's going to do something really unique with Star Wars, so I'm really looking forward to that. But did you guys get to see the Andor trailer?
Yeah, I thought when I heard about this project, I'm like, why are they going back to a guy that died? But then I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, this is going to be not just about him. You know, it's going to be kind of like preparation of what started it all and all that. So it looks interesting. And, just gotta wait and see. But yeah, it did look different than what I thought. So
the great thing about Andor, even the character, right? In Rogue One, it really opened this whole thing about the rebellion that maybe some people thought about, or people didn't think about it enough. But a rebellion can't just rebel against, the established power without doing dirty things, right? And in the original trilogy movies, we see the rebellion as this heroic band of heroes, giving it to the Empire, right? But in Rogue One, you see when Andor, at the very beginning of the movie, you see that there's a scene with Andor, and he's going to talk to an informant, and he's trying to get some information, and the informant, I think he's heard of something, and stormtroopers are coming. So instead of helping the dude, he pops him, like he shoots the guy point blank and then runs. And it was like, oh crap, like homeboy just assassinated someone to keep him quiet, because he knew he was going to get captured, and if they torture him, he's going to talk.
That was the one thing that George Lucas changed from Han Solo. Oh, he didn't kill that green alien guy. He assassinated him.
No, Han shot first. I think
but they changed that. They changed that in the movie because of that.
They fixed it in Solo, because if anything good came out of Solo, is that Han shot first.
Yeah,
and we know he's capable of doing it, so that's what I'm gonna stick with. But my headcanon is he shot first.
Yeah, he did, but that's the thing, that they wanted to make it too goody. They got to make it more realistic, and that's what I kind of dig about the Andor show.
Yeah,
I watched Rogue One twice. My favorite scene was obviously the Darth Vader scene. And I understand the story of why the story needed to be told. But to me, I still don't think it needed to be told. They could have saved those millions of dollars in that show and done something completely different and told the story by just talking about it. Like, it didn't need to be. I don't see the importance of these characters yet, Like, I get it. They're showing that they're trying to show Star Wars from a different point of view, the war aspect. And that's why we're seeing what you're explaining about the down and dirty mindset of they're at war. And Star Wars so far, like even from the originals, they kind of like sheltered the idea of like really showing the down and dirty. And I feel like Andor's the gateway of like, hey, we're going to show you what war is really like in these planets and death, and what they have to do to actually beat the Empire. Because Empire at this point in that time, they already won. So they have to do a lot to get that power back. But yeah, dude, I'm just like, come on, man. Like, show me something else. I want to see more Jedi. I want to see Sith. I want to see all that, but I don't really care for like
Yeah.
like I'm just tired of watching the rebels get their ass kicked. Like I'm so tired of it, dude. The beginning, these poor people are dying left and right. I'm like, oh, I'm over it.
When you got these heroes get the plans to the Death Star, even though they died, that was the very first victory the rebellion got. Because up until that point, the rebellion was just getting slaughtered. You even see it in Rebels. When you watch the animated show Rebels,
Yeah, everyone's
the rebels are constantly running, you know, and it's not until Rogue One that they get their very first victory, which again, Rogue One is just part of the original trilogy, A New Hope, because it's literally minutes after Rogue One ends that you see A New Hope starting, and that's what leads to their victory to defeat the Death Star, right? So we kind of have to see all these sacrifices, because to me, all it does is enhance and empowers the meaning of what the original trilogy accomplished, right? The story, right? Because if you look at those movies, they're very simple, very straightforward. They're like, oh, there's good guys, there's bad guys, and they won. Hooray, right? But there was so much buildup to that, and that's what a lot of these shows are doing. They're really filling in a lot of these blanks and really getting more meaning to what those original stories did, right? And the victory that they had. And I think Andor, the best way I can describe it is going to be a political thriller, right? Because there's this one scene with Mon Mothma, who ends up being the rebel leader, the lady with the red hair that we've seen in Return of the Jedi. We saw her in Rogue One. We saw her in the prequel trilogy. And there's this one scene where she's like in this event, this banquet or something, and you hear her say like, "Oh, I'm being watched," and like it's like this whole paranoia thing where it's like, hey, there's this new power, the government is watching me because now I'm a threat to them, right? So I'm being targeted. What do I do? So that's the part that intrigues me, and they did confirm that it's going to be 12 episodes, and they're going to start filming in November season 2. So Andor is going to be a sort of like a 2-season part story.
What about, I think you're going to it, what about Jedi Survivor video game?
Yeah, so Dano, I don't know if you saw that trailer,
I
but they released a cinematic trailer for the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, and it's called Jedi Survivor, and they show the main protagonist, Cal Kestis, and there's this scene where there's someone in a Bacta tank, John.
Yeah, so it looks like a guy, looks like a Jedi. He has long white hair, and I think like tattoo or scars on his left shoulder. And then it ends. That's it. It's really quick, and then they show the silhouette of a Sith, and he's about to fight Cal.
Yeah,
but they don't show who it is. And then this voice is narrating the whole like prologue of what's going on, and it ends up showing this one type of alien with long claws, which could kind of be either a Sith, or he's kind of playing like the whole Snoke type of role, that he's like leading the Sith.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because we were having a debate. The video game is called Jedi Survivor. This can go both ways. Is it talking about Cal's story, because he is a survivor and he's one of the original Jedi from the old training temples, or is it talking about this guy in the back of the tank? Is he an original Jedi? You know, is he in the back of the tank that's keeping him youthful, like physically, but that's why he has long white hair, is because he's supposed to be really old?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
cool.
like who is the character? Is it a clone of someone? Because for some reason, the first place my mind went to is like, yo, I wonder if that's a clone of Anakin that's been preserved and Cal just ran into it. And, you know, because this is the thing, you know, if the Emperor was trying to clone a body with very high force sensitivity, why not try to clone Anakin's body? You know, but I'm really intrigued. I think the tone of the game is really cool. The first game was great because it really connected. It was 5 years after Order 66. You kind of see that transition of the technology from the Republic to the technology of the Empire, which was really awesome. I think that game did a really good job to kind of progress the whole Star Wars story, and I think they're going to continue that with this game. So
I hope that the game and the actor is able to like make an appearance in one of the Star Wars shows.
In live action.
He's a great actor. You know, we've seen him in Gotham, in Shameless. I would like to see that character. It's so easily like brought out into, I don't know, Mandalorian or whatever timeline fits best. But
yeah,
it'd be really cool.
Or even